If you guys are watching this, I'm assuming that you've actually searched on YouTube for Achyu's Wedding by Subash. Well, what can I say? It's been a bit of an adventure trying to get this out, but hopefully it's worth it. Where do we start from? I think it was on the 24th of December 2011 when I left the shores of New Zealand, and I remember saying to Achyu's, while I'm away, don't do anything silly. Fast forward a few months, and I hear through the grapevine that Achyu's actually getting married in May. My first reaction was, whoa. My second reaction was, which part of don't do anything silly did you not understand? My third reaction was, he knew it all along, and and the reality was, I think he didn't actually want me at his wedding. I kind of figured out why though, because there's actually quite a good reason why he doesn't want me at his wedding. Well, two reasons actually. First one is, a few years back I asked Achyut to actually speak at my wedding, and he spoke well. When he spoke, I kid you not, the audience was on edge. Well, mostly our friends anyway, because we were hoping that he wouldn't talk about that time. But he spoke well, like only he can. The speech was very unique. I mean, it was kind of multi-layered, really. I mean, you had the aunties and uncles who heard a version of it, and then my friends who heard a completely different version of it. And that night I told them, Achyut, my time will come, and nothing will stop me from giving a speech at your wedding. The second thing is, I actually had the privilege of being flatmates with Achyut, and boy, did we have some stories there. Now, before I get into the stories, like I said in my speech, and I don't know if it was even read out, that's why I decided to do this on YouTube. So, how did it begin? Let's see. It was about 15 years ago in my physics class when this bloke that had bushy, long, curly hair came and sat next to us, randomly on a cold winter's day. Now I had no idea who he was. He really didn't say anything. And for a week he was just sitting next to us without saying a word. Now I remember Chintaka, who's not here today, asking me, why is he sitting next to us? It took him a whole week to actually talk to us. Years later we found out that Achyut was actually sitting next to us because we were brown people, and he was shy to talk to us. So for all the people at the wedding who's not of an Indian or Sri Lankan origin, you should consider yourself very lucky, because if Achyut is actually shy with us, I honestly have no idea how long it took him to talk to you guys. Fast forward some 7 odd years, and some of our best moments with Achyut was during the time he played any sort of sport. And I thought it would be a good time to actually go through some of his sporting achievements, or some of them, or many that he has. The basketball. It was never really his favorite game, but on the occasions he can really stun you with your shooting. And his time with the Short Blacks will be well remembered. Then we had cricket. Now, Achyut actually joined the Chaos cricket franchise in 2005 after 2 seasons with the replacements. And he was given the responsibility of fielding at point and the opening bowler responsibilities. Now, Achyut actually watched numerous videos on YouTube, and he was actually convinced that he was the best bowler in this part of the world. One of his greatest moments in cricket was taking a catch while doing a pose with Randy Orton from WWE. That's World Wrestling Entertainment, for those of you that don't know that. And basically when he took that catch, I remember the moment, it was about 3 people that was diving and falling behind him, because at that moment all 3 of us, we expected Achyut to actually drop the catch. But he surprised all 3 of us, and he took that catch in style. His achievements include winning 3 championships with the Chaos, with the recent one not a few months ago 2012. Football. Some of Achyu's legendary moments arrived in football during the games in Oahu Bay Stadium. You see, during this time, Achyu's claimed that he was a born-again Brazilian and his name was Ronaldo. There were two distinct memories during this time in Oahu Bay. Whether Chintaka was on Achyu's team or not, Achyu's would always yell at him, and most of the time Achyu's would make us laugh so much that we would actually stop playing and just laugh. The second moment was when Ronaldo, called for the ball and it was perfectly passed to him. Achyu's only had the keeper to beat. He beat him and he had the open goal in front of him. All he had to do was tap the ball in. But being Ronaldo, he decided to go for the great shot. And he missed it completely. He missed it quite wide actually. We had no idea how he missed it, but nearly everyone fell to the ground and we were all laughing. Achyu's turned around, he looked at Chintaka and yelled at him. He said, "Chimpy, pass it to me properly." There were some moments, those are some moments which we were going to talk about for years to come. In 2006 World Cup, the Football World Cup, Achyu's did a shocker and said he was going to actually support his fatherland, Germany. His soccer skills were noticed by his workmates and he joined his work soccer team. His commitment to the game was literally just crazy. He tackled hard, and the one time I remember when I got really scared was he tackled a bloke and Achyu's hit the wall, on his head, and he was knocked out cold. But he recovered in a few weeks and he continued to compete. Like I said before, flatting with Achyu's was interesting. I think I remember this one moment when it was the 2007 Cricket World Cup between Sri Lanka and Australia, and Sri Lanka was losing, and it was only like about 4 or 5 overs to go, and Achyu's kind of walked away from the hall and he went into his room. And me and Pradeep at that time, who were flatmates of us, we were kind of worried. Well, actually not worried, but we thought, okay, maybe he's just gone inside to sulk a bit. We thought maybe he's going to cry, because it was the World Cup after all. But about 5 minutes later, Achyu's returned. And both me and Pradeep, we were stunned at what we saw. There was Achyu, smiling like a Cheshire cat. And he had an Australian cricket cap on. And we were just stunned. We called him, you traitor, how could you do this? Your country's losing and you're supporting Australia. And Achyu says, Achyu actually said that at that point is, it's time that I support my family land. When Achyu started flatting with us, he had no idea that someone from the house had to pay the power bill or the power gets cut off. He got a shock of his life when our power bill came out after non-stop usage of heaters, fan heaters, and the spa. The spa. Boy, we had some memorable discussions about life and the girls the girl we were going to meet and marry. I can't remember what you said during those nights, but I hope you found those qualities in Dolly. One day, Achyu's asked me in a serious note, "Dude, are you over 25?" And after a series of arguments, he said that I had to wait till my 25th birthday before I could drive his car. With that new car, we went on a lot of drives discussing theories about life and things. But that soon ended though when Achyu's got his bike. God, we had all of us here had to put up with that face. Even now I think he goes on about it. Ideally, he would have liked to come to the wedding in a bike, and he would have liked to left on a bike that would have said, "Just married, looking forward to the ride." And hopefully he doesn't look for a reverse gear on his bike like he did on that day when he had his new bike. One more thing was back when my wife, before she was my girlfriend really, she took a week holiday in Rarotonga, and during this time Achyu's asked me to try it. Now, I've always seen Achyu's use it, but really I was never really brave enough to try it. But when Lucky was away, you know, Achyu's convinced me. He convinced me to try it, and he said, "Don't worry about the money. Just use mine for now, too." And within a few days, I was hooked, and so was Pradeep, and our MC for the day at his wedding, Harry. Harry was smart because when he tried it, it kept him up till 4 a.m. and the next morning, and he decided that's it. He's not going to do anything. As for Pradeep and I, we were hooked onto it. When Lucky returned from Rarotonga, none of us were the same ever again, as we were all addicted. My wife, Lucky, bro, she still blames him. She still blames Achyu's for introducing me to a habit that has taken me 4 years and a trip around the world to quit. You might wonder what kind of potent drug this is. Oh, this is no drug. This is far worse than any drug in the underworld scene. It was an online game called World of Warcraft. Cheers, Achyu's. 4 years. Now, Achyu's has a real addictive personality. If he likes something, he will put his heart and soul into it. He will spend entire time on the internet researching about it. And behind all these silly things that he does, he is actually a good bloke. He's the type of friend that you would want to have your side no matter what the situation is. He's stubborn in his own way, but he'll listen to logic and rational. Achyu's mate, I really haven't had too many opportunities to meet Dolly and get to know her, but knowing you and hearing the way you speak about Dolly, I just think you found your new addiction. Mate, look after this addiction, as this looks like the best high you'll ever get.